The air was thick with ash and the bitter tang of plasma scorched the ruins of Olter's Reach. Lance Corporal Daniel "Danny" Ruiz moved with practiced care through the shattered remnants of what had once been a proud Zalithi border city. His boots crunched over crystalline debris, and the whine of his HUD scanner was the only sound besides distant thunder and the crackling collapse of infrastructure. He hated missions like these. Recovery, not rescue. Most survivors in these zones were either long gone or too buried to matter. Still, Earth Command had given the order: search and document for diplomatic integrity. The war with the Varnak Hive was technically over. Now came the cleanup, and the uncomfortable obligation of preserving alien alliances. Danny climbed over the remains of what looked like a communal dwelling, the domed ceiling now fractured like an eggshell. The scanner pulsed twice, once yellow then green. Life sign. He paused. Faint but present. He turned toward a collapsed corridor choked with pink dust and slabs of glowing blue stone, native to Zalithi construction. Kneeling, he moved slabs carefully, digging past layers of structural glass, silken coverings, and shredded root fiber tapestries. Another ping, stronger. Then he heard it. A shallow, rattling breath. Danny dropped to his knees, calling into the rubble in broken Zalithi. "Hold on. I'm with the Terran forces. You're safe." No reply, just that weak breath. He shoved another slab aside, and uncovered a slender arm with shimmering slate-gray skin. The fingers twitched. "Still alive," Danny muttered. He activated his comms. "Corporal Ruiz to HQ. I found a survivor. Zalithi male. Requesting medical drone. Estimated time to extraction: 15 minutes. A crackling response came back. "Copy. Drone inbound. Triage protocols authorized." He worked faster. Eventually, he uncovered the alien's full form, curled beneath a ceremonial tapestry, eyes closed, face streaked with dried blood. He was young, maybe adolescent by human standards, but Zalithi physiology made it hard to tell. Slender, silver-veined limbs, intricate facial ridges along the temples, and faint bioluminescent lines along his throat. His clothing was ruined, but what remained suggested high status. When Danny lifted him free, the boy's eyes fluttered open. "Don't leave me," he whispered in flawless Terran standard. Danny blinked. That accent was clipped, educated. "I won't," Danny said. "You're safe now." The boy closed his eyes again. And then, to Danny's shock, he whispered, "You must not tell them who I am." Middle. 3 hours later, Danny sat in the makeshift triage zone, sipping recycled water from a hydration pack while the medics finished their work. The boy, code-named Subject Theta in the system, was stable and resting under cryosedation. Danny stared at the report in his HUD. The drone had run full DNA profiles, matching the subject against Alliance databases. Clearance codes lit up that even Danny's military credentials couldn't decrypt. That alone was suspicious. But then a quiet ping came through his private channel. High-priority message. From Joint Intelligence Bureau. Do not discuss the identity of the rescued individual. This is a matter of galactic security. You will be contacted directly. For now, continue operations as if the recovery did not occur. Danny leaned back and swore under his breath. Who the hell had he pulled out of that rubble? He didn't have to wait long. Hours later, a sleek, obsidian-black transport landed just outside the triage zone. Four Zalithi guards stepped out in ceremonial armor, their helmets stylized like cresting waves. And in their center stood a woman in shimmering robes and a blade so finely worked it looked woven. She was Zalithi, tall and regal. Her face bore the sigils of leadership, markings only used by the royal house. Danny stepped forward, unsure whether to salute or stand at ease. "You are the Terran who found him," she said, voice like cold steel. "I am," Danny replied carefully. "He's alive. Recovering." She nodded once. "And did he speak to you?" Danny hesitated. "He said, not to tell anyone who he is." That oddly seemed to please her. She stepped closer. "Then you are wise. You hold in your memory something worth more than many planets. You may call him Kalen, but you must never speak the title that follows." Danny's jaw tightened. "He's the heir, isn't he?" She didn't deny it. "He is more than that. Kalen is the only remaining blood heir of House Viral, the last line capable of uniting the divided Zalethi clades. If the Varnak had known where he was, they would have ensured Rubble was all that remained." Danny exhaled. "Why didn't you extract him yourselves?" "We tried," she said softly. "But his location was scrambled, and human systems are notoriously independent. You reached him first." Danny frowned. "So what happens now?" She gave him a long look. "You will come with us. Not as a prisoner, but as his guardian. He has chosen you." Danny blinked. "He barely spoke 2 sentences to me." "You pulled him from death with your bare hands," she said. "To our people that forms a life debt. A sacred tie." The ground seemed to shift beneath Danny. Where he understood. Duty, pain, and hardship, those were familiar. But this. "I'm just a soldier," he murmured. "You are now a soldier of 2 worlds," she replied. Transition. Danny traveled with them to the orbiting cruiser Zalvethan, where Kalen was being treated. The ship was like a floating cathedral, its halls glowing with living lights, air perfumed by scent trees and harmonic energy pulses. He found Kalen awake, reclined on a silkstone recovery bed. "You returned," Kalen said, voice steadier now. "I never left," Danny replied. "Though I'm still figuring out what I signed up for." Kalen smiled faintly. "My people would rather I live in hiding than risk another civil war. But I can't do that anymore. You found me. Which means I was meant to be found." Danny shook his head. "You're just a kid." Kalen narrowed his eyes. "I am 17 cycles old. I've studied 5 galactic languages, led debates in the High Clade, and memorized our war hymns backward." Danny held up a hand. Okay. Royal overachiever. Got it." Kalen smiled again. "And you, Danny of Earth, have broken bones in 3 limbs, survived 8 frontline campaigns, and still made jokes while digging me out of my tomb. So perhaps you're more than just a soldier." Danny couldn't help but chuckle. Great. Royal sass. But beneath the banter, a quiet bond was forming. Danny had never believed in fate. But he'd seen too many soldiers die to deny that sometimes strange things happen for a reason. Ending. Weeks passed. Kalen recovered quickly, though he remained in hiding. The Zalethi High Council debated whether to reveal his survival, but they feared stirring up dormant clade rivalries or drawing fresh attention from Varnak sleeper cells. One night, aboard the Zalvethan, Kalen came to Danny's quarters. "They want me to disappear again," he said. "To become a symbol. Myth. But myths don't change anything." Danny looked up from his maintenance tools. "And what do you want?" "To walk the worlds. See them. Understand the scars this war left. To help rebuild, not just from a throne but with my hands."